Okay, we'll continue our adventures in the books of Moses, otherwise known as the Torah, otherwise known as the first 5 books of the Holy Scriptures of the Old Testament. Chapter 8. So the earth was covered in water 150 days while God was off on his space-tripping adventures. Then he remembered. Oh shit, I covered the earth in water. I better blow a wind. On the 7th day of the 7th month, the boat landed on Mount Ararat. In the 10th month, mountaintops could be seen. After another 40 days, Noah sent a raven out to spread its wings. It didn't come back. So Noah sent a pigeon. It came back with a leaf. Another 2 months and 27 days and the land was dry. Verse 16. Come out of the ark. So Noah and family came out with several billion animals. Now, would anybody care to do the logistics of 14 months of maintaining a floating zoo? If you come up with simply impossible, you got it. So, what's the first thing Noah does? He builds an altar and burns some of every clean animal and every bird. Well, that was fun. But I won't destroy the whole earth again. Man can't help it if he's like I made him. Is God an idiot? Or is the Holy Bible just a silly fairy tale? Oh, I forgot to say that the reason Noah was burning all these animals is because the Lord likes not only bloated bodies that have been sitting around in the ocean for a year, he also likes the smell of burnt animals, this God fellow. Okay, so we've got over a year where the earth's supposed to be covered in water. Okay, this doesn't work. This doesn't work because we don't have that much water on the planet Earth. Now, there was a time, probably 600,000 years ago, when the earth was mostly covered by ice, but that's a different story from water. Okay, Mount Ararat is a very high mountain. Some people say, well, maybe they mean the known world. Maybe they mean when the isthmus between, or whatever it's called, Spain and Africa broke, and the water came in and flooded the Mediterranean, because before the Mediterranean used to be below sea level. Okay, maybe there's a story there. That probably happened, could have happened about 12,000 years ago. Quite a few things happened about 12,000 years ago. What we know now is the British Isles used to be part of the European continent up until about 12,000 years ago when sea levels came up. And that could be about the same time when there was lots of flooding. But there's a difference between flooding and covering the earth with water, because it doesn't work. The Mount Ararat is a mountain, and if you had water all over the earth, everything would be drowned and everything would be dead. And first of all, there isn't that much water. We don't have that much water on the planet Earth. And you can't just suddenly add water and then take it away again because God said so. It's not true. It's just simply a story. Mount Ararat was never underwater. It might have been millions of years ago. It could have been a seabed, and then a lot of salt is taken out of mountains, and obviously to get salt out of a mountain, it had to be a seabed before. Okay? Do we need to say anything else? Except for the fact that if you cover the planet in salt water and then put it away somewhere, everything's going to be salt water. There's going to be no fresh lakes anymore, and everything's going to be dead. You can't just cover the earth for a year in water and then blow away the water and then all the plants are back again. They'd be dead. Everything would be dead, and it'd be all salty. So it just doesn't work. And why people try to make this work, I don't know. And the other question, of course, is the known world. What do we mean by the known world? There were people in North America 6,000 years before this was written, or 8,000 years. It's probably about 4,000 years old, this book, at most. And the story is a story that might have been a story 12,000 years old, but it's a story about an incident that was relatively small. And yes, there was a lot of flooding at the start of the end of the last ice age. And so there's stories all over the world about flooding. But it's not a flooding that covers the planet. The planet has never been covered in water. Okay, we'll get off of that and get on to the next one. I think we still got to deal with Noah here.